Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am inspired by beautiful vampy makeup. I recently created a look for a Will I Buy It video, and a lot of you here on YouTube and over on Instagram were asking me to recreate this look. I did the look using the Nars Climax eyeshadow palette here. So that's what we're doing for today's video. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. As many of you know, I now have my online beauty consulting service, which is where you get the chance to talk to me one-on-one in a live video chat. So if you have makeup that you've owned for a while, but you're not sure how to use it, or maybe you have new makeup and you're not certain how to incorporate it, this is a great time for us to just sit there and go through your makeup kit and just see what's working for you, what's not working for you, etc. So to make an appointment or to get a gift certificate, which a lot of you have been doing, just go ahead and click the link. It's a direct link to my website, and there are different services. There's a half-hour service, a 1-hour service. There are bundles as well. Sometimes people like to have a couple appointments set up, if they want to have a consultation for product recommendations, and then a few weeks later, a consultation to follow up on how to apply the products. You can purchase a bundle at a lower price. So all of that is in the link below. So just go ahead on the link that says book now for a consultation. It's all there. Okay, so before we get into the makeup, I'm going to apply a little bit of skincare lip care. This is the Dior lip oil. This is the shade called Mahogany. It's in this sort of vampy rosewood brown family that we're going to lean in today. So for today's look, we're using this beautiful new Nars Climax palette. I don't love the name, but I love the palette here. It's part of the fall release. So we're going to focus specifically on these types of eggplant vampy shades. And this look is really easy to do. I have a few specific brushes that I use. Normally I just tell you to use whatever you have at home, but I find that these specific shapes here and these bristles are really great. So if you want to get these brushes here, I would recommend them. The first one is Makeup Forever. This is the 242 brush. It's really big and fluffy, and it's just really great to add a transition shade a little bit liberally. And we're going into the top center shade here. And this is going basically everywhere on the lid here. I did prime my eyes off camera. I used the Nars eyeshadow primer. That's my personal favorite, but use whatever primer you like the best, because any primer will just help your makeup look last longer. Then we're going to take a little bit under the lashes. We're going to do that as well with a more tapered brush. Now I'm using this Chanel retractable brush. I think this is the Definer Smudger. I'm going to leave the exact name and number in the description box for the brush. I love the Chanel makeup brushes. I think they're so underrated. First of all, they're dual-ended. So you get 2 brushes for the price of one. And we all know that makeup brushes can be a little bit pricey, but it's almost like a deal because you get 2 for the price of one. So I'm going into this one here with a tapered edge into the light shade again. And I'm going to take this on the bottom lashes here. This look is very simple because it's usually 2 and sometimes 3 shades. That's it. It's really simple. The only thing that might take a little bit of time is the blending, but as far as technique and all that goes, it's really not that complicated because you're not going in with that many colors. Now we're going in with this beautiful dark eggplant rouge noir burgundy shade, and the brush that I'm using here, this is specific. This is the Sigma E25. So as you can see, it's tapered up here, but it's also a little bit soft. It has a little bit of a give, and it's also narrow. It's not like a big fluffy brush like this that's round. It has more definition. And what I like is that you can use this to pack color on, but then also blend at the same time. For example, I went into the Makeup Forever brush first, but there have been days that I have been perfecting this look on the fly really quickly that I used just this brush here to apply the lighter color. So it's one of my favorite brushes. And I'm just using it now to just help diffuse that color a little bit more. Okay, so going into this color here, we're going to pack the color on the brush here. And it's going on the lid. I would say that this brush is somewhere between a brush you use to pack shadow on your lid and a blending brush. So once we get the color here, then as you can see, it's like on the side, the color, then we're going to put the color on the top here. And then we're going to place this darker color up in the socket here. So we can see I have hooded eyes, so I'm keeping my eyes open and I'm looking straight ahead just to bring the color up a little bit. And then we're doing the same thing to the other eye over here. We're sweeping the shade first. We're just like packing and sweeping on the lid here. And this is where you're going to spend most of your time, just gently adding a little bit more and blending it out a little bit. I'm going to take that dark shade again with the tapered brush from before, and we're going to put this on the bottom lashes here. So if you want to blend out this dark here, I would recommend going into that shade again here, this one, the light one. And you can just go ahead and blend it out with the first big fluffy brush. All right, now we do have some fallout I want to clean up, but it's not that bad. Like, there are definitely worse fallout situations out there, and you probably could skip this if you wanted to. I'm just being a perfectionist here, so using a Q-tip and a little bit of eye cream, I'm just gonna go ahead and clean this up. So for the foundation, I'm going into my new Chanel Ultra Le Teint foundation. I'm in the shade B30. The more that I play with this Nars eyeshadow palette, the more that I love it. The first look that I did was very reminiscent to Chanel Blurry Green, just like a very green, mossy makeup look, which is nice and great for fall. But this, ooh, I love it. And then for the concealer, my holy grail, Clé de Peau, I'm in the shade Almond. And I'm just gonna add a little bit on the inner bridge of the nose and a little bit outside here. As always, let the concealer sit for a few seconds. I swear you will see more coverage. Now I'm going into blend. This is a Sephora concealer. So you just wanna make sure you're getting into the bridge right here, like where the words are hard, but in this area here where your nose and eye meet, just to brighten it. And then when you're blending the outer part here, you're making sure to lift, and that just helps lift the eye. Who doesn't want an eye that's brightened on the inside and then lifted on the outside? You can leave this all matte if you wanted to. Just like leave it like this and then put on tons of mascara. You can do liner if you want, or you can add a little bit of sparkle because there are some satiny colors. I'm gonna add a touch of sparkle on the inner corner, just a little bit. Sometimes I take a little bit of the sparkle and put it right here. It kind of depends on my mood. So I'm taking the opposite end of our Chanel retractable brush here. This one is more tapered. And I'm gonna go into the top lighter champagne color here. And this is gonna go right here. It really depends on my mood if I leave it matte or add sparkle. I've been mildly obsessed with this look, to put it lightly. So I've been wearing it a lot. Doesn't matter where I'm going or what I'm doing, I'm just creating this look. And so yeah, sometimes I leave it matte and sometimes I add a bit of sparkle. For the mascara, I'm going into the Volume de Chanel in black, and I'm going to put on lots and lots of mascara. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set my face with a bit of powder. And I've also been mildly obsessed with this Tatcha silk powder. They did send this to me, and I'm not always a powder girl, but wow, this stuff is great. It's just so finely milled that even when you use it to set the under eye, it doesn't look cakey or dry, so it looks amazing. I take some powder from here, and then I use the cap just to get rid of excess, and then I just set. And I go in my T-zone as well, just to help the makeup last a little bit longer. Now for the blush, I'm going into my Chanel Jersey blush. It's one of my favorite blushes of all time. It really is like your cheek, but better. Okay, so for the lip, I'm doing something slightly ombre. You don't notice it that much, but like I notice it, and I feel like being extra. So I'm going in first with my Givenchy Sheer Velvet, and this is number 16 Nude Boisé, which is beautiful and stunning on its own. But then I'm going into my Chanel Le Rouge Duo Ultra Tenue. It's a very fancy word for liquid lipstick, so I'm using the shade Intense Rosewood, and I'm going to do more of the outline of my lips. Then using the clear lip gloss part, I'm just going to add a bit of gloss. There is no clear need to do an ombre this subtle. It's more just a question and desire to be extra. Now, to finish off our scent, I'm going to go into my Coucou Mademoiselle L'Eau Privée. This is the nighttime scent, if I'm not mistaken. This is not nighttime, but it's a very soft, sensual version of the Mademoiselle, and you can use it in your hair, so let's go ahead and be extra. Now, the nail polish I'm wearing today is from Dior, and it's their holiday release, I think last year or the year before. It's called Dark Night, which I think is last year. It's a beautiful vampy color. It's like red wine with a hint of purple and a hint of gold. If you don't have this because it was limited edition, I think the classic Rouge Noir from Chanel is just a classic and would be a really good pairing for this entire look here. I probably will switch this out in a few days and put on Rouge Noir just because. So this is the completed look, super vampy, super sexy and pretty, and I just love this look so much. You may be surprised that it's the Nars palette that created this look, but I swear, the more I play with it, the more I discover combinations, the more I fall in love with it. So if you're still on the fence about this palette, I highly recommend it. I'm going to do at least one, maybe two more looks with this because it's just a really great, very versatile palette. And I cannot get over this look. I love it so much. You know when you create a makeup look and then you get sad at night when you have to wash off your makeup? This is it. I'm just like, I just want to look like this from now until like November, and then I'll do something more festive or something. I don't know. Remember last year, I think, or maybe the year before, I fell into a deep smoky eye tunnel, and every other video was like a smoky eye, and then it was a blue eyeshadow tunnel. That's kind of like what I do sometimes. I get like obsessed with a certain look, and this for me is it. It gives me like 90s goth vampy. Oh, I don't know, I love it. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let me know what you think. What do you think of this vampy, sexy look? What do you think of the Nars eyeshadow palette? Any other looks you want to see with the palette? Any other looks you want to see in general? Sound off down below. If you're new to my channel or if you've been watching me for some time but just haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Like, comment, subscribe. Those are all great ways to encourage me on my channel. So on that note, I think this is all I have for you guys for today. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.